Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Dynamite from St. Louis, Missouri. To open the show, we had a hair versus hair match, Chris Jericho versus Ortiz. This is the second hair versus hair match in AEW, to my knowledge. These matches are always so fun. They start out strong and brawl to the outside quickly, and Ortiz starts to beat on Jericho on the barber's chair. Back in the ring now, Ortiz keeps the pressure on Jericho by biting his head. Jericho attempts to come back as they brawl on the top, but Ortiz reverses with the Hurricane Rana attempt and powerbombs Jericho. Jericho finally gets something going here as he suplexes Ortiz off the apron, and he stays on Ortiz and dumps him to the outside again and distracts the ref, allowing the JAS to beat down Ortiz. Eddie, though, grabs a chair and they back off almost immediately. After getting overconfident, Jericho starts to taunt Ortiz, and he climbs to the top rope, but is cut off by Ortiz, and he eats a cutter with his legs suspended on the ropes. They go back and forth, trading hard shots, and Ortiz gets a near fall, and Ortiz goes for a springboard corkscrew, but Jericho moves and hits a code breaker for a near fall. Jericho then locks in the walls of Jericho, but Ortiz fights out, and outside the ring, the JAS jumps Eddie, and Santana and Yuta come out to stop the beatdown. Kingston takes advantage of the ref being distracted and hits the spinning back fist on on Jericho, and Ortiz almost gets the win, but Jericho kicks out at the last second. Hager and Kingston brawl as Kingston tries to stop Jake from getting involved again, and as Aubrey is distracted, Fuego del Sol appears. He smashes Ortiz with the bat, and Jericho gets the win. They celebrate on the ramp, and Fuego removes his mask, and it reveals that it's Sammy Guevara. He's reunited with Jericho and has likely joined the JAS. Ortiz then has his head shaved bald. He opts to do it himself, and says he is a man of his word. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. It was a fantastic match. We then get 20-on-1 plaintiffs versus Wardlow. It's Law versus Mayhem, basically. We get a really nice Law and Order style intro for this match. Wardlow makes his way to the ring. He does have a new theme. It does seem to be just a more rock version of his regular theme. The 20 men are surrounding the ring, and we are reminded that he has to beat all 20, and only one of them has to beat him. They do the shield thing, and Wardlow doesn't care. He knocks 4 off, and they appear to get eliminated. He then submits and pins 1 and 2. He then eliminates 4, 5, and 6 quickly following. He just takes everybody out. He just keeps tossing them around the ring, and there's only 5 left now. Wardlow stacks them up and gets the win. Wardlow then grabs Mark, but is stopped by Dan Lambert as he talks from a skybox and yells at Wardlow, when you mess with the ATT, you mess with everyone involved. He tells Matt Hughes and Tyron Woodley to jump Wardlow. And Wardlow tells them, you know, they're from the same area. We're cut from the same cloth. He tells them that they shouldn't be listening to Dan. They agree, and they feed Mark Sterling to Wardlow. He gives them a power bomb, and they leave. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. The match was very messy, but the finish was very nice. We then get the Forbidden Door opening a little bit. Dax Harwood versus the new IWGP United States Champion, Will Ospreay. They both make their way to the ring solo, and it's going to be a true one-on-one. Dax and Will both have 2 titles. Dax carries both of his, but unfortunately Will does not have his title because Juice Robinson has not relinquished it to New Japan. So while being the US title holder, he's not currently holding the actual title. They start at the feeling out process, and they exchange lockups and holds. Dax starts to light up the chest of Will, and they really pick up the pace from there. They brawl on the apron now, and Dax tells people to move, but Ospreay slips out and pulls the leg out and starts to dominate as he hits the shotgun dropkick into the steps. Will keeps on Dax as he starts to control the pace in the ring. Dax, though, comes back with a five straight suplexes. Dax hits another toss suplex, and Will lands right on the back of his neck. Dax goes for a flying headbutt, but Will moves and hits a 450 for a near fall. They are putting on a great match. Will is back on the top rope and he gets knocked down, and Dax tries to get the finish, but Ospreay reverses it, and both men just will not die. Ospreay's looking to end it now, but Dax stops it and goes for the slingshot powerbomb, but Will avoids it for a moment, but Dax catches him again and slams him down with the slingshot powerbomb. Dax looks like he has it won, but Will reverses another move and hits the Oz Cutter for a near fall. He then hits the Hidden Blade and gets the win. After the match, the United Empire come out to beat everybody down. To beat Dax down. But they are stopped by Roppongi Vice and Cash, but the numbers quickly catch up, and Orange Cassidy comes out to make the save. He gets right in the face of Will, right behind Will, and they stand toe-to-toe in the ring as the UE starts to leave once they had finished their face-to-face confrontation. We then get another face-to-face confrontation. Jon Moxley face-to-face with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Jon Moxley is finally getting his match against Tanahashi that he's been hunting for 3 years. They come face-to-face, and Moxley looks ready to put this company on his back once again. Moxley says he has been chasing Tanahashi for a long time, and he runs down all the companies they both worked for. Says there's a lot of champions, but there's only one ace, and that's Tanahashi. But not for long. Says that he is the best professional wrestler on this planet, and says there's more than just the title on the line at Forbidden Door. Says everything is on the line at Forbidden Door because he plays for keeps, and when the dust settles, Tanahashi will be calling Moxley ace. Tanahashi takes the mic, but Chris Jericho comes out to interrupt with Sammy and Ty. Says the only reason Mox is in this match is because Jericho wasn't there last week, and it should be his spot. Says the last time he saw Tanahashi, he beat him in the Tokyo Dome, and Tanahashi tells Jericho to shut up. Jericho tells the JAS to jump them, but from behind, Archer and Desperado jump them as well. Jericho introduces the newest members of the JAS, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, and tells us why Suzuki-gun is here, because he will be teaming with Minoru Suzuki at Forbidden Door with Sammy against Yuta, Shota Umino, and Eddie Kingston. And speak of the devil, Eddie charges the ring, and the newly shaven Ortiz and Santana and Yuta follow. They take out the JAS, and Tanahashi hits the sling blade on Desperado, and then Moxley and Tanahashi come face to face once again, ending this all off. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get a recap of Kyle and Darby, and Darby says he wants to break Bobby's leg too for revenge on what Kyle did. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good, because we kind of did the revenge thing, didn't we? Tony Storm talks to Britt and says Britt should be smarter than to think Tony isn't talented, and says she is a champion and will be a champion here. And she is going to carry this division to the top. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. Ethan Page versus Miro in the All-Atlantic Championship qualifying match is next. Page looks ready to stop the rampage of Miro as both look to claim gold, but Miro seems hell-bent on making a statement now that he is back. They start out slow, and Page takes an early step outside, keeping his distance from Miro, which he will have to do if he wants to beat the bigger, stronger man. Page is trying to wear down Miro, but Miro answers with big kicks, stomps, and he starts to just dominate Page. Miro gets distracted for a moment by Dan, and this allows Page to gain control, and he starts to wear down the big man. But it does not last for long. Eventually, Page, after sending Miro through some steps outside, Page sets up on the apron and he hits a springboard cutter, gets a near fall. He tells Miro to pray to him, and Miro gets pissed off and starts to toss Page around, then takes him right out and sets up for the big kick and takes out Dan Lambert for the good money, or for good measure, kicks Page's head off, and locks in game over for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get Dante Martin and Matt Sydal talking, and Dante says he is sick of hearing about his potential and he wants to talk about his talent. On Rampage, a new star will be born, and he is Inhuman. John Moxley meet Inhuman Dante Martin. I'm interested to see where this is going to go. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We get Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker. Toni wants to settle the score with Britt. She wants revenge for her only loss in AEW, and they start out strong. Toni, though, is able to gain control, and eventually Rebel and Jamie keep getting involved. Rosa comes out and chases off Jamie, and Britt ends up using this to her advantage to slowly pick apart Toni, tossing her around the ring. Britt then sends Toni into the corner to stomp her down, and she's enjoying every minute of this. But Toni starts to come back, and she hits a hip attack, followed by Britt attempting to sneak a win, but Toni survives. Britt does go for lockjaw, but Toni slips out, hits Storm Zero for the win, and after the match, Thunder Rosa stands on the stage staring at Toni and seemingly calling out her next challenger. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get Stokely Hathaway says Jade is issuing an open challenge, and it's immediately answered by Willow Nightingale. That will be on Rampage. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. Hangman Adam Page makes his way out to the ring to talk and says that he wanted to challenge Okada for the IWGP Championship, but now realizes he was a bit ahead of the time there. Should have just waited until after Dominion, because now he wants to challenge Jay White. But before he can issue the official challenge, Adam Cole comes out and says Page will not challenge for the title because at Forbidden Door, it's about the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club. So it should be him taking the match for the title. Adam then welcomes Jay, but Jay ends up coming up behind Page and hits the Blade Runner and then stands over Page and says he is the IWGP champion. That means he gets to call the shots. He's not going to put the title against Adam Page, but he's also not going to put it against Adam Cole. Cole looks pissed off about this, and he says he's going to decide at a later date. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. I can't wait to see what's going to happen at Forbidden Door. We then get our main event of the evening, the Lucha Brothers, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express, taking on the Young Bucks. I don't know why that was so difficult. In what was going to be a 3-way ladder match is now a 2-on-2. The Bucks are looking to become the first 2-time AEW World Tag Team Champions, and tonight they are in their wheelhouse in a ladder match. Luchasaurus's gear looks amazing, bright white and gold. I love it. They stand off to start, and then we go quick. The Bucks try and take control, but Luchasaurus stops them, and Jurassic Express takes control. Jungle Boy and Nick show off on the ropes and ladder, ending up with a big Hurricane Rana, and they go back and forth while both teams just start to go for the titles really early, all honesty. Both teams are able to hit tandem offense with neither one gaining the edge, and Jurassic Express eventually is able to send Matt through the table. They try to send Nick through one as well, but he powerbombs Jungle Boy and then hits a 450 through a table onto Luchasaurus. These two teams just want to hurt each other, and it is very clear as the Bucks hit a swanton onto the ladder on Jungle Boy. The Bucks set up 4 tables in a tower and look to send Jungle Boy through them, but he fights out and keeps going back and forth. Luchasaurus almost had it won, but the Bucks dump him through the 4 tables, leaving Jungle Boy alone. They hit the BTE trigger and they climb the ladders for the win. After the match, Christian Cage goes to help Luchasaurus up. He then gets in the ring to help Jungle Boy up. They are at the ropes, and he quickly grabs Jungle Boy, hits the kill switch. He then grabs some more chairs, and he hits a concerto on Jungle Boy in the center of the ring. Cage just turned heel. I mean, we all kind of saw it coming, but it looks like it's finally happened, and I'm excited. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. But that is the end of Dynamite. My overall, I gave it a great. That was a fantastic show. My segment of the night goes to Moxley and Tanahashi going face to face. The match of the night goes to the ladder match. That was fantastic. And the performers of the night goes to Jurassic Express. Specifically, their title reign was amazing considering, I don't know about anybody else, I didn't expect them to have the titles anytime within the next year or two. So them having this reign was fantastic. And it's great to see them get their due there. And that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one.